Here with Jason Wong, president of Sysco Hawai'i. And Jason, I wanted to ask you about this Restaurant Rising program that you offer to the community, that especially food service industry businesses, and they don't necessarily have to be a Sysco customer. Can you tell me a little bit more about what programs you offer?
Yeah, sure. So Restaurant Rising is actually a national campaign by Sysco for US and Canada. If you can imagine, our operators, our restaurant customers are struggling and pushing them to the brink of going out of business. I think the latest numbers are 25 to 30% of restaurants may not make it. So what Sysco has done in this second wave that's really hitting the mainland right now, and Hawaii's a little bit on the opposite end now, but doesn't mean it can't come back, is that Sysco rolled this Restaurant Rising campaign to, again, what can we do to help our operators get through this pandemic? And Sysco, it's not just about our customers. This is an industry-wide issue. We need a healthy food service industry for all of us to thrive. And if you know that restaurants are we all have friends that own restaurants. This is one where there's 900,000 restaurants in the US, and mostly small businesses. So Sysco's taking a position that, how can we rise the industry out of this, historic downturn? I've been in the food business over 20 years. I don't think I've ever thought I would face a day where the business is down over 50%. And I know it's down even more for our friends on the neighbor islands. It's been more for people in shutdown areas like California and the Seattle area. It's brutal. So Sysco is putting all its resources behind how do we help the industry as a whole.
So there's different types of segments, and there was a lot of thought that went into this to help this industry. Fast onboarding, what is that?
Yeah, so we want to make it really easy to help people right now. So we just waived all delivery minimums, made that really easy. So if you need 5 cases of product and that's what's going to get you through doing your takeout or your curbside, we're going to be there for you. If you're not a Sysco customer, I'm a little embarrassed to say it, we didn't have the best onboarding process before. We were a little clunky, okay? But we've committed to if you're a new customer and you need help and you need to get product, we're going to get you on in 24 hours. And we're going to do that because we just started accepting credit cards, which I know sounds a little dated. We're an old industry, but we're moving and we're changing with the times. So getting those credit cards, getting somebody on board in 24 hours, waiving those minimums, make it really easy to work with us and help prop up whoever we can and to get through this together. It's really important to us.
Well, with this pandemic, it's allowed you the time to be able to be extra efficient and take care of your customers and new customers.
So we have a whole website, Sysco Foodie, and if you go to rising.sysco.com, it'll take you to these resources, and you don't have to be a customer. This is for the industry, so you do not have to be a customer of Sysco. Again, we're trying to prop up the industry with all the knowledge, all the great resources we have, and just share it out because we need a healthy industry. So there are things like how to make your in-room dining more efficient, because if you're at a 25% capacity, there are specific ways to lay out tables, things you can take out to get more tables and still stay within regulation. Because we have to do it the right way to beat this pandemic. But we also got to keep our operators going through this thing. There are things about how to bring out curbside pickup. Things that are commonplace for some of the larger chains, but how do we get our smaller mom and pop independent operators to put this in? So you can go online, you can download templates for signs, and so you can put those signs up in your parking lot. There are pamphlets on best practices, sanitation methods for improved spacing of the tables. So there's just a ton of information that our corporate team has put out there for anybody to use.
So circling back on that, how you help the business, the restaurants, their delivery services. I know that they're kind of spread thin. I think small mom and pops don't have the capacity to be a delivery service themselves. So there's some kind of partnership with Uber Eats that you also have.
Yeah, so part of the Restaurants Rising campaign is we have several third-party relationships. So we leverage the scale of Sysco with these third parties and get discounts out for our operators where they might not be able to do that on their own. So we have about, if you look at just the US and Canada, we have about 400,000 customers. So we give a little nudge to our partners, and Uber Eats is one where they waive their activation fee, make it a little bit easier for our customers to get into the delivery business, because at this point, every item counts, right? Every sale counts. Our customers are trying to hang on through this pandemic, and we're only, we're months away from this thing. The vaccine's coming, we're gonna get through this, and whatever we can do, that's just one extra case that they could sell just to get to the end there, and let's get back to some normalcy for them and not have them lose all their life savings.
Sure. No, that's an amazing program. There's also, the free restaurant marketing tools that you kind of touch base on. Can you give me a little bit more insight on what that looks like?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything on how to work within the pandemic and within the regulations across the country, and they do differ, but how to put in patio dining. It could be something as, putting in the heaters. As things are getting colder in some parts of the country, we don't have that issue here in Hawaii, so maybe the patio dining heaters are not going to be applicable.
Well, in Wahiwa, I would say, or North Shore, it's a little chilly.
It's all perspective, right? But there was patio dining, there's, like I mentioned, curbside, how to implement curbside. It's really we're these little nooks of value that we can help get all of the independents find, squeezing every dollar out of the current environment. And again, I don't want to say this is not profit driven for people. This is survival. These are people's businesses that they built over 30 years. My friends are operators. That's who I know I spend my days with. And they have been struggling to get through this pandemic and thinking, hey, even when we think we're a month away, we get another wave or something else happens, and it's how far can they stretch this out? So what I love about Sysco is we put our full weight and resources behind it, no cost to anybody. Come on and use anything that you need, and if it helps your business, we're happy.
What was that website again?
So it's rising.sysco.com.
And you don't have to be an existing Sysco customer. It is open to all food service related industries.
It's open to anybody. So even if you're not a restaurant and you wanted to go on there and check it out, you can check it out.
Wow, that's amazing.
And if there are any problems, you can just call me. I'll get you on there.
Where Hawaii Eats is presented.